Hi Internet, welcome back to another video. I'm Eli. In the passenger seat is my buddy Matt, and oh well, you're here too. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll wait till all the cameras fine.
We just filmed about 20 minutes of footage,
give or take,
in slow motion on that camera. So part of this video may have not great audio. I apologize. Now, one other thing to note. Matt recently lost his Instagram. If you guys could, head on over to Instagram. Matt's Instagram's on the screen. It's i.bill.avant. If that doesn't work, check the comments. I'll have an updated Instagram because Matt may have gotten banned again. Who knows? But for now, we're in Matt's 3.0 swapped A4 Avant. We're going to go for a drive. Like I said, some of the audio might be garbage. I apologize. But we're here. We're doing the thing. And turn the e-brake off before you leave, Eli. Alright, Matt's already given me the disclaimer that I'm not going to like the way his shifter feels because I'm a freaking boomer.
Oh, you're used to a short shift.
Your clutch is so much heavier than mine.
Yeah, man. Well, I just did the Ringer Stage 3.
Okay, so you're ready to go dual pull. You just haven't.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, where's the reverse? Do I pull it?
I was going to, I was trying to think,
oh, the backup camera even comes up.
Yeah, dude. This is OEM as everything works.
You've never seen this car, and you're asking yourself, why is it so blue? The answer is because this is one of two 2012 A4 Avants in Audi exclusive Nogaro blue. Now that you've S4 swapped it, it's the Corvette owner thing, right?
It is an authentic
one of one.
I got my New Balances on, my jeans shorts, you know.
And Matt and I have been talking back and forth a lot about me building one of these. So Matt, you took a 4-hour drive from New Jersey to scumbag me into...
It was the only way to do it.
It was the only way to do it. Hey, I greatly appreciate it. Anyway, alright, so car rundown. It's a 2012 S4. The motor is out of a...
It's a 12 A4.
Sorry,
The motor is out of a 15.
Okay.
So it's effectively a B8.5 S4 swap. With a 6-speed, with a sport diff, with electronic suspension, the whole nine. You know, you name it, it's been pulled over from the S4 sedan.
So the A4 that Matt found is a pretty high-spec car. What are we doing here? The A4 that you found is a pretty high-spec car to begin with.
That's right.
Which is why it has all this stuff?
Yes, but the S4 donor was a similar spec.
Okay.
So there wasn't really many conflicts with like coding or wiring or modules or any of that jazz.
And then Matt has been telling me that the swap is easier than you would think it is.
Depending on
how difficult you make your life.
Well, exactly. Depending on the scenario, if you're doing a pre-facelift into a facelift or vice versa, or if you want to do manual swap, you can keep things pretty easy. You don't care about manual, you don't care about sport diff. Things are pretty plug and play.
This feels very nostalgic of my S4.
Right? I mean, you drive it, it doesn't feel anything different than the sedan.
I thought the wagon would feel at least a little bit different.
Nope.
But all I'm noticing is I have way better rear visibility than I do out of a sedan. I am not mad about this transmission either.
Yeah.
I know you thought I was going to be mad about it, but I'm really not. So this is factory S4, because I drove a manual S4 and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Did I just drive a junky S4?
Possibly, or maybe the clutch was a little bit more worn in the S4 you drove, because this is a brand new clutch.
And an upgraded one.
It has, it's the Ringer Stage 3 clutch, and it's got the ECS stainless steel clutch line. So on factory S4s, they have a delay valve built into the line.
Oh, it doesn't have a delay valve.
Exactly, so it makes it hard.
That's 150% what it is.
Yeah, so this is a lot less vague. It's a lot more easier to feel out the clutch, which is very helpful because it's a stiffer clutch.
Right.
So it's much easier to drive, and it's much more rewarding when you drive it properly.
I'm having like a moment here where I'm realizing why I didn't like the car that I drove. Yeah. Now I can stop talking shit about the manual S4s.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I can talk about the ones that have the delay valves.
Exactly. Well, that's why they say like the stainless clutch line is like a must-have because it makes the car completely different to drive, and the clutch is a lot more easier to work with because you don't have a delay valve messing with you,
You can
right?
actually feel it. It's not some sort of mechanical interference, that kind of stuff. Wow, it's hot here. I know we have the windows up for
Turn the AC
audio.
on. The AC works.
Oh, all right. Well, just chirp my B5, man.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Oh, hey, yo. Learn to drive stick, Eli. Really learn to drive stick, Eli, apparently.
If you're not used to the clutch, it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's an aggressive clutch.
Dude.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
It sounds awesome.
It's just like your old S4. Just missing a little bit of horsepower.
Doesn't even need to go fast. Also, this car is stock, other than an AWE catback and not even an intake.
Nope.
Gutted cats, and that's it. It sounds good. It feels good. It drives good.
Yeah.
There we go. I floored it. I knew this was dangerous because I've been talking about doing an Overland Cayenne for a while now.
This was convince you to come to the correct side, the dark side.
Matt is like, yeah, just come drive my car. It'll be fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Little did I know that this is like convincing me to
it's nostalgia
do one of these.
Dude.
Oh boy. And it's a great daily. We got room in the back. We got a big old hatch.
How could you possibly go wrong?
That's messed up, man. Maybe it's not messed up. Maybe you're just guiding me back down the right path.
I speak the truth.
Do I do a manual one?
I personally wouldn't have it any other way. I think the car drives so good, and now that you're familiar with what the clutch line does for it can maybe sway you in that direction, you know?
I thought I was going to build a DSG one or a ZF one.
I'm almost like a manual diehard. I love the way this car drives. Once it has a short shifter in it,
it'll
be perfect.
Well.
This car was a bare shell maybe a month ago. And that's what's...
It's kind of crazy.
Isn't it? Like, it had nothing in it.
Talk me a little bit through the process. So, like, super high level, we're looking at someone buys an A4 wagon.
Right.
They try to buy a similar spec S4, so the harnesses are relatively similar.
Ideally, yes. If there's going to be differences in the car, you want the higher spec to be the wagon.
Right.
Because that's the easiest to work with.
Then you get rid of wiring instead of adding wiring.
Exactly. Yeah, just as a high level, you start with two cars. You know, an A4 Avant that's hopefully relatively clean. Ideally has a blown engine because you're going to take the engine out of it anyway. And then get a donor S4, whether it be insurance auction or maybe a car you find cheap that, you know, has some body damage but has a good drivetrain. Strip both the cars, put the 3-liter into the Avant.
And I was thinking it was more than just putting the 3-liter in, but Matt was telling me, and I'm sorry for reiterating this multiple times, but Matt was telling me that you literally drop the subframe out of the S4, and because they're the same chassis, it just
bolts right up.
Whoop, right up in there.
Same subframes. The rear subframe, you know, drops out of the sedan, bolts right up to the wagon. Same thing with the fronts. Even if you want to do the manual swap, all the mounting is there, so you just have to swap the pedals. There's already a cutout for the clutch master, so the clutch pedal fits. All the clutch linkages, everything fits.
It sounds so easy when you make it sound like that, or when you say it like that.
I have that curse of making the swap sound easier than it is, but like when you lay it out step by step and you kind of look at it as an overall picture, it really isn't too bad. It's just more or less about how you go about it that can make your life more difficult. Like if you're doing a pre-facelift to a pre-facelift swap, if you keep it DSG, if all your options are in the Avant and not in the S4, well then it makes life super easy. If you're staying automatic, the engine's pretty much plug and play. If you have a donor car, you have matching keys, matching immobilizer, matching ECU, all that stuff, so you don't have to mess with immobilizer defeats or any of that jazz. It can be very easy if you make it that way.
So what you're saying is I should do it like you and build two. The first one should be well, not like you. Your first one was complicated. The first one should be the straightforward plug it in one. Then I sell it to one of these people watching the YouTube videos.
That's right. And then build another
And then I build another one that's manual swapped and a nicer A4 and all that stuff.
That's
and if I hate it, then I don't have to build another one. But I don't think I'll hate it based off of how much I like your... It's been... I've driving this car for 5 minutes on this video, plus whenever the camera failed before. So I think I'm 10 minutes into this car and I'm already pretty sold. I think mine has to be DSG.
I mean, you had DSG in your old B8.5, right? So maybe try the manual life. But if you want to keep wiring a little bit easier, you could do the DSG, and obviously DSG wins races. It's faster.
Yeah,
so,
and, you know, I'm all about the racing.
That's right. So,
I actually was just thinking that, like, my chase in my S4 for 10s got cut so short because I got hit by that plow truck. The fastest I ever went in my S4 was 11.7.
Can you imagine a 10-second station wagon, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
10-second station wagon.
So in order to realize that dream, it has to be a DSG.
For sure.
We got hill hold. And I promise that I know how to drive a stick shift. Earlier you said it's like, it doesn't feel like it's been taken apart.
That's right.
And I mean, kudos to you for putting it all together like that, but man, it really doesn't feel like this car has come apart ever. There's no rattles, there's no nothing.
I take huge pride in that, you know, the beauty of this at car shows is even people can't even tell it was taken apart, or even the fact that there's nothing like that's outstanding about this car. Like, people who don't know that it's been engine swapped can walk up to this car and be like, oh cool, A4 Avant. And that's pride in my work of like, people can't even tell that this thing has been torn down to a bare shell. And
the other thing there is it looks so factory, because it is.
Yeah, essentially
it looks so factory that if you knew nothing about these cars, like you said, even with the hood open, someone could walk by and say, oh cool, that guy in the S4 popped his hood, and move on.
Exactly. But to the people who know, those are the people that freak out and lose their minds over this thing. And, you know, because
this is the forbidden fruit. This is what we've always wanted. And until the RS6 came to the US, which is still out of most of our, I say our like you guys and us, price ranges. We didn't have a wagon. We didn't have an S4 wagon. We didn't have an RS wagon.
The last thing we saw was an 08 S4. And those are cool, but they're not that fast.
I'm either going for a 10-second wagon, dual pulley, ethanol, throttle body, ported blower, all that fun stuff, or I'm going for the fun-to-drive manual stick shift wagon. My recent interests say that I should probably do the fun-to-drive car instead of the fast one.
Well, you get all the scene points for being a manual, so...
Is it true? Do you get a lot?
Oh, yeah.
I need a lot.
That manual transmission.
I don't get many with the B5. I bought the wrong color one. It's not Nagaro. Nagaro gets you a lot of scene points.
Nagaro is where all the scene points
are. And then if you really want a lot of... We're letting all the people in on the secrets, but if you really want a ton of scene points, put a Nagaro interior in your car, too. So A4 with a 3.0 with Nagaro exterior and Nagaro interior, that's at least like 10,000 scene points, right?
It's gotta be. I mean, I think I might be off the scale right now with the amount of scene points, right?
Off the scale?
Off the scale.
All right, well, on that note, if you guys are looking to go off the scale on scene points, make sure to follow Matt on Instagram because you get a scene point for following him. These people don't know how to drive.
Student driver.
Please be patient. All right, I'm being patient. I think that's it, right?
Got our bases covered.
We got our bases covered. All right, if you want to see a 3.0 A4 Avant on the channel, when Matt gets to 100,000 followers, we'll do it.
Get following.
Thank you guys for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and we will catch you guys in the next video.